Mac the cat has made himself comfortable on my props. I'm going to do the same. Just gonna lie down in Shavasana. Feel the spine unfurl on the ground. Take a minute to just tuck your shoulder blades down on the ground. Maybe extend through your heels one at a time. Consciously deepening the breath to begin with. Inhale and exhale. Lying here with our eyes closed, just begin to direct the attention to, keep on moving, keep on making adjustments, directing the attention to really feeling every part of the body. So maybe even just opening and closing the fingers, keeping the breath deep the whole time. So make the movement somehow correspond with the breath. And maybe that means stopping for the moment at the bottom of your exhale. And then inhale deeply. Exhale. Breathing smoothly, deeply. Slowing down. Letting yourself become still. And then concentrating on becoming softer. Every exhale, just melting down, releasing into the ground. Pouring down into the ground, sinking, releasing. Notice the feeling of the cloth of your clothes against your skin. Notice the temperature of the air against the skin. Feel the air on your face, cool. With every exhale, feeling the air enter and exit the nostrils. How much can you let go of? How much can you release? Just taking a couple more breaths here. And then start to make small movements in the fingers and the toes. Roll your head from side to side on the mat. Exhale, let the head fall to one side. The shoulders melt down into the ground. You can let your arms fall open into a T. I kind of like having my arms in a cactus shape. Just breathing here. Be sending a gentle pressure into the earth. So sensing the soul dropping down into the earth. And then inhale, bring the head up through center. And exhale, let the head fall to the other side. Breathe here. Inhale, come up through center. Then exhale, bring the feet in towards the body, planting the feet on the earth. Lift the hips gently and set them down on the earth. Walk the feet out wide. Let the knees fall in. Keeping the arms spread out on the ground, or if it feels better to bring the arms to the body. If you want to take even your hands and put them under your head, or you can grab a blanket and put it under your head. Making yourself comfortable here, lift the hips, set them down, feel the lower back spread out on the ground. Just take some deep breaths here. Inhale, we're going to just make our way up to sit. So however that makes sense for you, you can roll off to one side and push up from there. Just find a way that's like, take your time, make it easeful, make it comfortable. Don't lose this quality of relaxation, quality of really tuning into the things that you need for your body. So right now I came to sit, decided that I want to have my hips propped up a bit. So I'm going to bring my bolster and my blanket for myself. Sit my hips up high. And I'm going to cross my ankles. Instead of crossing at the ankles, I'm going to cross kind of more at that midpoint of the shin. And let my knees fall open. Just rest here. Just come to any seated position where you can find some ease. You could sit in a chair even, or bring yourself up against a wall. Let your attention and your breath guide you into a seat that is comfortable. Where you can find the deep breath. Begin to come into stillness. Keeping the breath the same length. Softening the edges. making it more circular. Imagining the shape of the breath. It moves through the body. Reach your left fingers down towards the ground, just extending the fingertips down. They may not reach the ground. And let your right ear fall over to the right shoulder, keeping that right shoulder relaxed. On your inhale, feel the chest lift, feel the crown of the head lift. Sides of the waist extend, and exhale, maintain that space. And release it down. Inhale, let the head lift back up through center. Bring your left hand back to your knee. Take a breath or two here. And then let your right fingers come down, stretching down towards the earth. And exhale, let your left ear fall to the left shoulder. Notice how you feel. Your eyes are open, are they closed? Just notice how you can make your experience more easeful here. Inhale, head lifts, hand comes back to the knees. Blink open the eyes if you had the eyes closed, and bring the gaze down towards the earth. Feel the crown of the head lift on your next inhale. Exhale, keep the gaze steady. Keeping that steady gaze, inhaling. And exhale. Directing all your attention at this spot in the ground randomly chosen. And exhale, close the eyes, lift the gaze. So you're just looking at it eye level. Inhale, sweep the arms up, let the gaze lift to meet the thumbs. Exhale, hands come down through heart center, following the thumbs down with the eyes. Inhale, follow the thumbs, arching the arms up to the sky. Exhale, tracing the gaze with the thumbs down to the heart. Inhale, stretching up, lifting up. Exhale, drawing down to the heart. Keep breathing and moving the gaze. And the practice of yoga is expanding your awareness, focusing your attention is a way to do that. And you can stop moving at any time or keep going. You can rest in any pose along the way, maybe pausing with the heart, hands at heart center, just sitting for a breath or two. If you're not feeling that, just stop at any point in the movement or continue moving. That breath to movement concentration is helping you focus your attention. And if you did pause at any one spot, maybe choose the exact opposite. So I'm going to reach my arms up to the sky. I'm going to open my eyes and look up towards the sky. But if you want to not do this, if you want to come back down onto your back, you can do that. Shifting your awareness. Shifting the rhythm. Taking a few more breaths. And when you reach an exhale, finding a central sitting position again. Stillness, no movement. Inhale, extend your left leg out to the side, keeping your right shin in and the sole of the foot moving towards the thigh. If you need to take a wide set seat, that's good. If you want to take a more narrow seat, whatever is comfortable. Flex the toes and pull them back in towards the body. Sorry about that. The hazards of having a cat. Giving ourselves a few more breaths here to settle back in after that interruption. Recentering the energy, feeling the foot pull back. And maybe turning your chest towards that foot. And just noticing that slight twist to one side, a realignment of the spine. Inhale here. And maybe walking the hands forward. Noticing if you want to bring it, bend into the knee, that's really fine. I have my knee bent pretty generously today. You can even take a pillow and put it under your knee, or a block, which I'm going to do. Just giving the knee something to relax down into. I'm going to put mine on kind of a medium setting and right above my knee, or kind of like right so like the flesh of the calf is resting, kind of avoiding that middle part of the knee. That's a little bit of a delicate area. So it's getting around the knee and bending as you fold in or not. You can let the foot relax. And let your shoulders relax. Head can round in. I kind of just like to tuck my chin in slightly so I can feel the back of the neck get long, kind of stretching the crown as my shoulders roll down the back and drop down. Feeling a nice, easeful length across the back of the body as a whole. So we're feeling a stretch really come all the way up from the heel through the calf, into the thigh, and then you're feeling it in the lower back, rolling up the spine, across the back of the neck. Inhale into the stretch. And exhale, ease, release. Notice one thing that you're holding on to that you don't need to be holding on to. That might be physical, that might be mental, that might be realizing that you are going deeper than feels actually good in your body, based around like a perception of what you should be doing or what your ego is driving you to do. So maybe even experimenting with if you're easing off from wherever you are. So I just kind of came down from being really folded over and lifted my hands up so my spine is longer. That might be coming up to sit tall. That might be coming back to a seated position. I'm just going to spend a few more breaths exploring that space, and then we'll all meet back in a seated position. But take your time. Probably about 7 more cycles of breath before we meet in the seated position. I'm just going to be quiet, let you guys get there. If you're sitting already, just start to notice the alignment of the body, the balance of the body. And that doesn't mean changing anything, maybe perfectly comfortable. Maybe you need to just reframe after another cat-based interruption. Finding the breath. Meeting the moment and just finding the ease in it. Take the right leg when you're ready, extend it out to the side. Flexing the toes, pulling them back towards the body, just noticing how that feels. And then maybe turning the torso out to align more with the right leg. Fingertips can come to the earth. If you want blocks under your hands, which I didn't really think about on the other side, but this side must be different. It's totally normal. Most people have one side where you might find a little bit more range of motion, but at any point, just really use what's around you, be aware of what's around you, and make yourself supported wherever we are. Be aware of how you feel and make yourself supported wherever you are. Be able to find just a deep breath. And if you're ready, you might start folding in over the leg, taking the blocks with you. Feeling the hands grounding down, the shoulders grounding down. Looking for that more than the deepness of the fold, the depth of the fold. Just notice where you're feeling it in the body. Right now, I'm feeling a stretch through the left side of my neck, down along the left side of my body, and into the lower back, and a little bit in the back of the knee. And if you wanted to find that prompt from the first side, that might be nice. But what you need from side to side might be different too. Like this is more comfortable. Make yourself comfortable. And then slowly ease up back to sit tall. And shifting the props off to the side for the moment. Just coming all the way up to stand. Taking the time to adjust yourself, maybe taking a sip of water if you'd like. And finding your stance, I'm going to start with my feet about hips width distance apart. I'm going to bend my knees gently. And maybe feel the body sway from side to side. Maybe rolling the shoulders in some circles. Noticing where you just need a stretch. The arms can stretch overhead. You can lean over to one side. And then come up and go over to the other side. Maybe going from side to side with the breath. Spending some more breaths just here, making yourself comfortable with coming back to standing after we spent so much time starting on the ground and going to sitting positions. Now coming all the way up. But eventually just breathing into a stillness again, rolling the shoulders down the back. Feel the weight balance between the 2 feet. Feel the 4 corners of the feet. You can look down, see the balls of the feet. Lift the toes, spread the toes, put them back down. Roll the shoulders down the back. Inhale, lift up through the heels. Feel the breath rise to the crown. Exhale, feel it go all the way back down. Without losing the integrity of the space, the body aligned. Maybe your eyes closed, maybe they stay open. You might experiment again with opening the eyes and just finding one place to look at. Maybe you're noticing that it actually involves kind of a lot of work to stand in one place. for any one point in time. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Let the gaze meet the thumbs, if that's comfortable for your neck. And then exhale, bend deeply into the legs. Come down into a forward fold. Your knees can be bent really deeply. You might find your blocks and let your hands rest on them. And just let yourself fold down so your head can release down towards the earth. The neck can be free. And what's nice about having the blocks is also that your hands have something to rest on. So you get a little bit more release through the shoulders without losing the length of the spine. Hanging here, notice what happens when you shift the weight a little bit forward into your toes without losing the heels on the ground, just finding that edge. Drop the crown of the head down towards the ground. Inhale, press into the blocks or the ground or your shins. Just lift the spine long, extending the crown out, roll the shoulders down the back. I'm going to take my blocks up to their highest level to really give myself length. And your knees still might be bent. Mine are a little bent. Just feeling the length of the spine. Every inhale, extending the crown out a little longer, extending the hips back. And exhale, feel the navel pull in towards the spine, supporting the lower back with the core, hugging in and up. Finding the steadiness in your breath, the inner stability, connected to this literal movement of our core, our belly button expanding, inhaling. And exhale, pulling back in. Just a couple more breaths. And on an exhale, it doesn't have to be the next one, but in the next few exhales, let yourself come down. And let's sit back on our heels. And I'm going to actually make my blocks into a double stack here and put them between my ankles. And it might feel nice actually to take a blanket and put it underneath your knees. So again, taking the time, set up the thing and do it right. Make yourself comfortable. And if this is not comfortable at all, just finding a comfortable seated position, whatever that looks like for you. Keep the eyes open and let the gaze come out into the horizon line. Breathing here. And then drop the gaze down towards the earth, just meeting the earth. Notice where that falls, where it really makes it comfortable for the back of your neck. And then close the eyes if you'd like. And body settle. From here, we're gonna move down towards a child's pose. So you can, again, there's a lot of prop options here. I'm gonna keep a blanket under my knees, bring my toes together, and sit the hips back towards the heels. But you can keep the blocks there as something for your hips to rest back on, or take a pillow and put it between your hips and your heels, just to give yourself something so the hips really can release back and the arms can crawl forward. And if you want to have something underneath your chest too, if that feels more relevant for your experience, if both of them feel like they would bring you more ease, kind of mix and match as you will. You can make a support to fold down towards, or lean your arms on and do just let your head hang down towards the earth if that's more comfortable. Blocks underneath the hands can be nice. You can bring your arms as wide as feels like the most comfortable, wherever your shoulders can get a little bit nice alignment, a nice combination of structure and ease, balance. See the inhale and the exhale. Feel the breath expand across the lower back. Feel the breath lift through the back of the body, expanding each and every rib. And on your next inhale, feel the breath go all the way up the back, up the arms, out the fingertips, out the crown of the head. And exhale. If your forehead is on the ground, or if you want to bring a block, a pillow, or anything underneath the third eye point, it feel nice to just press that point between the eyebrows gently down into something. Maybe feel your face relax. there's like a ton of nerve endings right at that point. So even if the third eye thing doesn't really resonate with you, still pretty much feels good. And then inhale, easing out, coming up, setting your props off to the side, and we're just coming back down into Shavasana, lying on the ground. But this time we're going to stay there, and we're going to be there for a pretty long time today. But I thought it would be nice. So it's another opportunity to make yourself as comfortable as possible. You want to spread a blanket out over your mat and lie down on that. If you want to have a blanket on top of you, if you want to have your pillow underneath your knees, a pillow underneath your head, if you want to sign off and go to bed, that's all an option. And of course, if you want to sit up and have a seated meditation, you're more than welcome to do that. So knowing that you're going to be here for, like probably 12 minutes or so. Make yourself comfortable. Moving into stillness. And being aware of how you're doing that. The practice of yoga is a practice of expanding awareness. And the purpose of expanding awareness is not necessarily always to find the easiest thing or the path of least resistance, but to understand how there is not really any delineation of that, how you can possibly come to comprehend that there's no delineation between good and bad or sukha and dukkha. So, well, in this class, and right now, we are aiming to find the most ease using the practice of approaching that as a tool of expanding our awareness to move towards some kind of greater understanding. The ability to find some kind of greater peace. But for now, easing into sukha. And if you need more movements before you come into Shavasana, if you don't feel like you need a twist, or if you want to bring your legs up, take a block underneath your hips. Sometimes I get down into Shavasana, realize I'm not quite ready myself. I just took a block and slipped it under my sacrum, a bony plate between the thumb and the lower back, and just letting myself rest here. But there's absolutely no pressure ever to change your position. You can Do what you want. Make yourself comfortable. Experience ease. From my supported bridge pose, if you're interested, I'm extending my left leg out now. Feeling the front of my left hip expand, just stretching out. And at some point, I'm going to switch to the other side. Making that decision, knowing I have plenty more time to make another one. Shifting when I need to. At some point in the next 5 to 7 breaths, if you are taking any movement, just settle in for a couple last moments of stillness. And let the breath soften, let go of the control of the breath. And as you're ready, starting to bring yourself back into your body from stillness, with breath, with movement. Maybe by blinking the eyes a few times. And eventually by rising up again to find just a comfortable seat for a few breaths to close the practice together. Take these final moments, make them consistent with the rest of the practice, and find a really comfortable seat. Just because we're not going to be here for very long doesn't mean we shouldn't pay attention to the moment. Let your hands come to heart center, let the eyes close. Chin bows in towards the chest. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale, blink open the eyes. Namaste. Thank you for joining me. Sorry about the cat dancing.